Hello, dogs! Lildawg right here, right now. Welcome back to Magical Eyes. Red is for Anguish. Last time we left off, we were about to enter Yu's room to do something. I don't know what. Before going to bed, I find myself thinking about the bizarre situation the city is in right now. I remember one of my co-workers, a doctor, once told me, what you have to be more alert for is a situation you have light symptoms, like a headache or fever on the surface, but you have no idea why they're showing up. I suppose that is what is bothering Azuma the most. He must be way concerned about the fact that they haven't discovered the cause behind the crime wave than he is about the crimes themselves. A slight headache could be one of the symptoms of a serious illness that could kill you. However, in my opinion, the symptoms the city is experiencing already go beyond sight. Even if all those cases in the category of regular crimes and there's nothing that I can do about it, I should probably sort out the information I have and prepare myself for the future. Just another person who lives here in the city. Who knows when one of the people I know will fall victim. Reasoning mode? Oh! Oh, okay. In important parts of the points in the story, you can infer the case using the vocabulary you've gained up to that point. This is the case screen. Clicking each list will display the solution list. The acquired words corresponding to each case will be displayed. Displayed once response fields have been filled. Press to end reasoning mode. Oh, okay. I don't think we've been asked how long the phenomenon's been going on. There's something strange going on in the city right now. What is it? Usually high crime rate. What is the cause of the phenomenon? It's an unknown cause. So this has been happening since January. It's an unusually... This is what you get for reading. So I'm going to save this. I'm going to head back to the title screen. And that means that I knew there had to be something for that empty space. Okay. So what did we get? Oh, okay. Ah. I see. So we have not unlocked everything yet in, Special. We need to, probably beat all the reasonings. Yeah, we were told how long it's been going on. It's been going on since January, according to the game. Even after going through what I know like this, the most I can do is nothing more than putting it all together. In spite of the fact we've had a considerable amount of crime here, there aren't enough clues to make any inferences from. With that said, paying attention to everything would be the best way of investigating for the time being. I've been told that it's pretty unlikely, but it's not impossible for the variants to be involved. Or rather, given how peculiar it is, I can't get rid of the strong impression they are. That's why I believe I need to give this all I've got, so that I don't miss any symptoms when they show up, so that I can see through to what causes them. and so that I don't lose anyone important to me. Interesting. So reasoning mode is going to be the only reason... It's going to be the only reason standing in between us and going through all of the scenarios. What a horrible day. Oh. Oh! Okay! Kachiki Kosuke mutters, walking down the dark alley. Bad luck is such a burdensome thing to come across. Just having some is already a big disaster, but what's worse is that you have to deal with the consequences later. If you get injured, you need treatment. If you fight with someone, you need to apologize to them. In the case of this particular man, he lost the documents that he spent the last 3 days finishing up and has to do them all over again. It's repairable, but it's not that easy for him to quickly forget it and move on. He keeps powerlessly walking down the alley that leads to the residential section he lives in. The lamppost in the middle of the alley has been blinking for the past few days, and tonight it stopped shining completely. The darkness unnerves him. In combination with his own depression, this part of his commute gives him the creeps. Creak! Huh? He stops and turns in the direction of the strange sound. It was like the creaky sound made when he sit on a stubborn old chair. I don't think you can hear it. Let me... Okay, I don't think it's picking it up. He looks around, but he doesn't see anything suspicious. He only heard it once. Maybe it had been just been his imagination. Even so, it's still creepy to hear something strange on a dark, lonely street. He subconsciously picks up the pace, filled with irritation. It's just not his day. He could have gotten home sooner without the mistake at work, and he wouldn't feel so unsettled if it weren't for the dead street lamp. He recalls there's one more burdensome facet to his misfortune. Strangely, misfortune begets more misfortune. It never rains, but it pours, as the saying goes. Bad things will keep happening, and at times misfortune makes its way to you as though hunting down prey, no matter how alert you are. He wonders if he should take the day off tomorrow so he can stem the tide of this series of disasters. But even if he does that, he'll end up having to work at his home desk all day. The best thing about it would be that he doesn't have to care about his coworkers, especially one of his bosses who gives him snide stares and plenty of ear wagging all the time. It's not a bad idea. He decides to call the company first thing in the morning. With that burden lifted from his shoulders, he continues along his route home with a lighter heart. Unfortunately, that small comfort was not to be. He would not be able to take the day off the next day. Neither would he be able to call his company the next morning, nor ever return home. That was because his theories proved correct by himself. Misfortune begets more misfortune. Once a tooth gear gets off its track, even slightly, it can lead in another distortion. It's not unthinkable that someone or something in that darkness did hold evil intention toward the man. He just didn't know it. He didn't know what was in that creeping darkness had already claimed a knick-knack shop owner he knew, and that he himself was its next target. To be fair, the shop owner asked for it. But what about this man? Was there any reason for him to suffer this disaster? Was there any reason for him to get his head chopped off while still alive? Oh! Okay, yeah, things did not end well for the man. The days the little girl spent with the boy are filled with excitement. The kinds of ordinary moments they shared might seem predictable and boring to other people, but for her, they are novel experiences. Just a little chit-chat is far more amazing than any manga or TV show she has ever seen. Lightning striking somewhere near the hospital last night. The middle-aged man next door tumbling over terribly. Each topic is silly, but the way the boy spins them into amusing stories is like magic. The girl can't figure out why. She was astonished when he searched for her room and showed up to apologize after they had crashed into each other. She didn't believe he had anything to feel guilty about, but he went through the trouble of finding her and apologizing without even knowing her name. Above and beyond the apology, he started enthusiastically talking about how he sought out her room, who he was, and how he had wound up hospitalized. At first, she wasn't sure how to react to this one-sided conversation, but soon she found herself laughing and chiming in with the stories he told. A week has passed since then. He comes to visit her room every single day. A week ago, all she had was anxiety and suffering, but she now appreciates the wonderful time she's having. Yet she started to feel something she never has before. What if she had not bumped into him? What if he had not come looking for her? All those ifs unsteady her mind as though there's no ground to stand on in the world. She's not only uneasy about the past. How much longer is this splendid period of time going to last? How long will she be together with him? And when he leaves the hospital, will she return to how she was a week ago? She now routinely imagines these kind of sad scenarios for her own future. Question mark side in. We still don't know who the two kids are. My theory, it's Yu and Chiharu. And there we go! Chapter 1. The city dyed orange. Ho 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 ho! I think this is normally this would be a good place to leave it off. And I think I will. I'm kind of a little bit tired, and I would love to enjoy doing Chapter 1 starting next episode. You know what? Let's continue. Why not? Tsukumogami. It is thought that objects and tools that are used for a long time eventually have developed with soul. It is something done by objects themselves, or are they being infused with the user's emotions over a long time and being tormented by them? If the Tsukumogami are created by the latter, they must be imperfect beings, because the emotions contained in them and the very existence of human beings are the source of those emotions. They both are woefully imperfect. Alright, so now it's Friday, April the 30th. U's side. Today is the only normal weekday set right in the middle of the long holiday season. Still, it's not that depressing considering that the main part of the holiday starts tomorrow. Jun and Shizuku seem to be motivated by that fact too. They are enjoying their preparation for school, something they usually don't. What are you two doing during Golden Week? Okay. I don't think I've actually read about Golden Week. So, a Japanese English word describing the holiday period starting around the end of April until the beginning of May in Japan. Originally, the word was used as an advertising pitch coined by Japan's movie industry, aiming to warm itself up and make plenty of box office revenue. Consequently, what is golden is not only the feelings of people enjoying the holiday period, but the entertainment facilities that the people visit. I see. Work? No work at the moment. I don't think I'll have the whole week off, though. You sure are always busy, so busy that you even had time to break our promise to go see a movie. You shouldn't try to guilt him, June. You really know to hit me where it hurts, huh? Just kidding. I know it's something only you can do. Yeah, we know it's something way more important than the promise we made. Wait a second, you're guilting me too, Shizuku? Just kidding. These little kids are troublemakers. So what are your plans? Going shopping with Aunt tomorrow. Mom's going to take us to a bookstore and all that. She's buying me the video game she promised before. You're going to spend the holiday playing that, right? Yeah, but we're thinking about going out somewhere as well as we don't get bored. Yeah, we're deciding where to go now. You two are trying to make the most out of the holiday, huh? You're gonna go out somewhere while you're not working, aren't you? Nah, I think I'll just sit around at home. When the disobeyers in charge of a specific area want to leave it for a long time, they have to apply for permission. There's nowhere I want to go badly enough to bother with that, so I keep the area near my home. Watching DVDs or reading. Oh boy, did you hear that, Suzuku? I did, June. Listen, do you know what Golden Week is? It's a week that's golden. It's golden. What did you pause for? You just switched the word order. Ah, I think I get it. Well, I'm sorry, bro. I mean, I never realized you didn't have any friends. We'll always be on your side. You're doing it wrong. I don't need you to show that kind of grown-up consideration for me. Just kidding. You know what? I've actually got someone who asked about my plans for the holiday. Will you go hang out with them if you have nothing to do? I'm not going to. I don't want to feel sorry if I suddenly have to call it off. What? You don't care about that when it's us? That's because you two are family and know what I do. Not to mention that June is already one of us and Shizuku will be too soon enough. And it's hard for me to stay with someone for long, as you know. Right, you have that stuff. Well, Shizuku and I will play with you if you're free from work. We'll play. Haha, thanks for the offer. It's about time to leave for school. Let's go, Shizuku. Sure, we're leaving. Well, as I told you last night, the city is kind of rough these days. Make sure to be careful. Sure. Even if I can't hang out with her, the two of us alone. Judging from past experience with her, Ogawa will probably bring me the DVD today. I'm looking forward to the DVD, but what's even better is that I'll get her to talk to her again. Right now, I'm feeling one of those unexplainable emotions. It's so natural of me to be thinking that every emotion can be reasoned, being a disobeyer myself. Use a disobeyer? Hold on. Oh, okay. I didn't know you was a disobeyer. Huh. Since I think of her that way, I have to remember there's a line I can't let cross myself. I have to take a look at my watch and realize I need to get going, too. Put on my uniform and... always the same. As soon as I recognized the caller's name, I gave up on attending school today. His timing is terrible as always, but at least it's not as bad as his cooking. Alright! Okay, so the school. A 92-year-old public high school. Oh, wow, that's old. That's much older than the one I went to. That all the locals know about. Its motto is improve yourselves in both in academics and sports, and it is well known in the entire prefecture for its high-quality education and its dominance in sports contests. I'm guessing we're going to be Chiharu? Yes. A languid atmosphere is hanging around the pre-class classroom as if rejecting the beginning of the day. Due to it being the middle of the holidays, more seats are empty than usual. It must be contributing to this laid-back air. Contrary to that laziness, I'm enveloped to an out-of-place, uplifting feeling. I was forced to wake up at 5 this morning by my day-old hopes and fears. I unconsciously finished my daily jog, and during breakfast, found myself writing Amakawa U on my toast with jam. I know there's a chance that his answer today before yesterday was just something he said on a whim, but who could blame me for being somewhat excited? He hardly ever says anything on a whim. There's a gigantic gap between 0 and 1. And I have this one president, he might do the same again someday. He could say something really nice on a whim, or could just accept my outing offer on a whim. Just imagining those situations makes me... 30 minutes I have passed since I started waiting for the man in question. Some of my classmates came and greeted me, but I don't remember which ones they were or what I said to them, just that I only replied mechanically. Missing today means 6 more days to wait. Between breaks, lunch, and after school, I've only got about 2 hours total. There's no time to waste on anyone but him. Plus, I've got a whole lot of things I want to talk to him about today. The DVD waiting for the time to come out of my bag, the movie theater that I saw in town, the unusual little boy and girl that I bumped into. If I managed to make the chat flow smoothly, I could ask him out to a movie. In the past years, I was never able to see him during Golden Week, meaning those weeks were less than golden, but that response he gave me gives me hope for this year. That alone is enough to get me through the rest of the holidays. But there are still opportunities for more to happen. I'm so happy I want to scream. Actually, I yelled a little into my pillow last night. Generally speaking, my feelings for him have been going too far, even I'm aware of that. That's why I'm very careful not to go overboard when I'm with him. In front of him, my words and actions can't be too heavy or too atypical. Basically, the most important thing is for me to act naturally. That said, it will probably be difficult to restrain myself today. Guess it's about time. He usually arrives about now. I've got to compose myself before he shows up. Make one wrong move, and the usual me will be destroyed. Except he does not show up. So we're finally going to find out. I'm guessing we're going to find out about the incident of the guy getting absolutely murdered. Pops, allow me to say something, would you? What is it? I feel so sorry about those shrimp you're cooking. My heart bleeds for them. He bought loads of shrimp to make some kind of seasoning from their shells, and now he's grinding some of them in a mortar. In other restaurants, just the sound of grinding would lead you to expect a good food. In this ramen shop, it's just undesired noise. What a jerk. Don't embarrass me. You're praising me for too much the first thing in the morning. I've been wondering about this for a long time, but do you even know the basics of cooking? Preaching to the choir. That's a silly question, you silly junior. Do you know the 5 essential tips for Japanese cooking known as sashi su se so? The 5 essential tips. Sashi su se so. The basics of Japanese dishes is a wordplay to describe 5 kinds of seasonings are used to flavor Japanese dishes. Sa is for sato or sugar, shi is for shio or salt, su is for su or vinegar, se is for shoyu or soy sauce, so is for miso or bean paste. Using these in a descending order is considered to be the best way to season Japanese dishes. I see. Stop making fun of me, will you silly junior? You're supposed to respect your elders. First off, sauce for sour cream, right? I think I know what sour cream is. That's not even Japanese. Wait, you use sour cream when you cook? Now I get why it all tastes so sour. Hey, then what is it? Salmon salad? That's already completed meal. Sauce for satu, sugar. For real? Well, I actually knew that. I was just testing you. You looked pretty darn surprised. Anyway, I'm not here to teach you how to cook. Can we move on to the reason you called me in on a school day? Not so fast. Let's take our time. First of all, I'd like you to enjoy my new shrimp sukamen named Heaven. Please don't, I'm begging you, I'll do anything for you. Kneel down on the ground, pay whatever you want, just give you everything I own, just please do not serve me that thing. Alright then, if you won't go that far, I won't. Let's get to the point. Pops disgruntledly quits grinding and takes a picture out of his pocket. Have a look at this photo. It's a dark shot, seemingly taken somewhere with little lighting. Based on its texture, I noticed that it was printed out from digital data, and what it shows is that a doll? Yeah, it's a doll. To be more specific, it's a Japanese doll. Dolls created to imitate appearances of typical pre-modern Japanese people. Most of them are in kimono and with Nihon Kami, one of the traditional Japanese hairstyles. They used to be kids' toys that could be found in a number of families, but recently you can see them more often as they are often displayed for Japanese seasonal festivals or auspicious occasions. They have a variety of uses. In general, Japanese dolls are referred to as ichimatsu dolls or ones wearing a kimono. It's between 1.2 and 1.3 meters tall. They say it's pretty big for a doll like that. The black hair appears to absorb all light around it, and the long and narrow eyes, even my untrained eye can see that the doll is a masterpiece of the highest order. Seems like this cutie pie here is quite the female fatale. It's never a good sign when you start off a briefing like that. You'll see if it's bad or not in a minute. It all began a week ago. A man got brought into the general hospital in the Cho ward, the most developed section in Kamisaki City, playing the role of the center of the city's economic, governmental, or commercial activities. Many public offices sit here in this ward. Since there are plenty of large commercial and entertainment facilities here, every street has high traffic at any hour of day or night. Due to the city's biggest station being located there, the ward is the main traffic hub for the adjoining cities and towns. He was unconscious from blood loss, and the reason was crystal clear. He got his left arm brilliantly chopped off, the part below his elbow. Ouch. His left arm? Yeah, thanks to the prompt treatment, he managed to survive. He could have easily died of shock. Right, the guy's tenacious, I'll give him that. His name's Nikawa. He's a 36-year-old man who runs a knick-knack shop in the Kamiya ward. Okay, he's currently being hospitalized. Bedroom suburb where... oh, yeah, that. That ward's part of the district is in my charge. On the day of the incident after hours, he noticed he forgot something in his shop and went back to pick it up around midnight. He said there was nothing wrong when he entered, but the moment he stepped out into the backyard, he got attacked from behind. So he didn't see the culprit. He did, and that's not where he lost his arm. There was a bit of a chase throughout the shop. I need to come up with a different voice. There was a little bit of a chase throughout the shop. Whatever. There was a little bit of a chase throughout the shop. The place was pretty trashed, so the chase must have been rough. He wound up falling victim to the culprit, but he remained awake for a while after losing his arm. He was the one who called the ambulance, though he had passed out by the time they came for him. Pretty hard to say if that was lucky or not for him. I think it would be pretty unfortunate to stay conscious with such a severe injury. He was such forced to his experience and see how his left arm got separated. But then again, if he'd passed out sooner, he probably wouldn't have survived. This is obviously a crime, and the police are hoping to get an ID on the perp from the victim, but after 3 days, he'd recovered enough to talk, but the police were puzzled by what he had to say. How come? The info he gave them wasn't really what they were expecting. Something like a little girl wearing a kimono cut off his arm. That's what he said. A little girl wearing a kimono. Shockingly enough, that's what that doll in the picture is wearing. The person seems to have an outrageous fashion sense. Junior, that's not the right choice of words. What word? Based on the victim's story, it's not a person who got him. It's one of his goods, a doll. You mean the one in this photo? Bingo! By the way, that photo was taken by Nikawa with his cell this January. Are you sure this doll got to her feet, walked around, and chopped off his arm? That's what he says. The doll slashed it off and took it away with her. The cops decided the shop owner was too traumatized by the attack to recall things properly. That's a completely normal response. Yeah, it's a no-brainer. Should the authorities swallow everything he says about the case, the public would consider them crazy. So their perspective aside, what do we think of that? The police are sensible and reasonable about the event, but that doesn't mean they had the truth. A doll's been missing from the shop's backyard since the incident, which supports the victim's account. And that picture was of our missing doll? Definitely. Many of the staff members stay the same, so that's a fact. Also, we've confirmed that the doll was in the backyard until the evening of the attack. Ordinarily, you think someone injured the shop owner and stole the doll. Sure, but we don't deal with the ordinary. So that's not what you think happened, Pops? I'm between black and white at the moment. The first puzzle is something important was missing from that scene. Important as in the arm. They couldn't find the man's chopped off arm in the backyard or anywhere in the shop. Someone, probably the culprit, took it with them somewhere else. That's what the police figured, and they did it. They're searching around there, and then they got a phone call from someone in a park 6 kilometers away from the shop. What did they say? That they found a human arm in the park. They were a young couple living nearby. Oh, jeez. I feel so sorry for the couple, assuming that they're not the criminals. It's extremely discomforting to suddenly experience something so extraordinary in a commonplace scenery. Yeah, I would be kind of freaked out if I saw a random chopped off limb in the middle of a public area. I can't imagine how shocked they'd be to discover a human arm. What could they have been up to in the park at midnight, I wonder? That's not important at all. Whatever it was, they didn't deserve such a traumatic experience. And of course, the arm they found. As you guessed, it was the shop owner's. In other words, the chopper bothered to take the arm out of the shop and went all the way down to the park to abandon it there. If it had just been another robber, they wouldn't have taken someone's arm. I guess your bad hunch is getting worse now, huh? Yeah, apparently my golden week has come to an end much faster than I thought it would. Alright. I am going to leave this one here. I hope you enjoyed this one. Bye-bye.